essentially, this movement. I mean, there is no theory. One of the uh, problems with preparing for DILR is that you do not have conventional theory. जैसे quants में तुम किसी भी chapter में जब जाते हो, when you enter any chapter, you can define theory for 4 to 6 hours in that chapter. If you go to an average class, if you go to a chapter like averages, you will see that averages as a chapter will have around 4 to 6 hours of theory lectures, which will give you new concepts or revise your theories, etc. But in DILR, there is no such theory. There's maximum 10-15 minutes of theory because data interpretation and logical reasoning both are experiential subjects. They are both experientially learned subjects. So the preparation of data interpretation and logical reasoning starts with dipping yourself into questions and finding this comfort line for yourself. For some people, this comfort line might be 20%. You are able to handle only 20% of the questions. For others, this comfort line might be 40%. For some people, I've even seen this comfort line at the start to be 90%. So you'll have to find that point. And then your step one, the A part of step one is to improve your efficiencies in things that you know. And the B part is to transform or convert things that you cannot solve. Because ultimately, in a DI or an LR question, if you're not able to solve it, because everything is given in front of you, you are not able to interpret something, which is why you're not able to do it. It is not something about your knowledge. It is not dependent on the knowledge. It is not dependent on what you bring to the table from behind. It is dependent only on what you do with what is given to you. It's just that when you talk about DI and LR. So four box theory जो है, step one is this, where you don't have this point. Step two is where you reach a point where you can confidently tell yourself कि I can solve anything. And this is the most important part of the journey. And this is the most time consuming part of the journey. And the process of transferring this to that, I'll just come to that. But before I go ahead, what is the third box there? The third box, then once you reach this point, this is the point of complete belief in yourself. When you reach this point, you have complete faith and belief in yourself, in your ability to solve a DILR set. And you have to enter the exam with this faith, because inside the test, what happens from time to time, what happens is your belief or your faith in your ability to get through a question will be tested. No matter how good you are, the kind of DILR questions that they are throwing at you these days, your beliefs and your faith in yourself will be tested. And I'll just come to your problem solving inside the exam. And maybe I'll show you a couple of sample examples also of what it takes to score 12 marks inside the test on a DILR set. But before that, let's just move on. So your next step is then focus completely on efficiency. And you raise your efficiency, you raise your speed, and this is the point where you say that I can solve anything. I've got complete faith in myself, and that faith has to build with crossing those hurdles that questions throw at you. And when you reach this point, you might be a 5 minute solver, 4 to 5 minute per attempt solver, which means for a 4 to 5 question set, you take anywhere between 15 to 25 minutes. So you have to reach this point कि मेरे को time दे दो, give me time, 25 मिनट दे दो और मेरे को कोई भी set दे दो, मैं solve कर लूँगा. This is the first point, and then you start saying कि okay, now as I start increasing my efficiencies, I get to become a 12 to 15 minute solver of a set. So if I'm a 12 to 15 minute solver of a set, if I can get through any set in 12 to 15 minutes, once I reach that point, I'll be attempting, in a 1 hour exam, I'll be attempting between 16 to 20 questions, 4 to 5 sets. And this is where I will be at close to the 99 percentile range. And the final push in the DILR, the final box, the fourth box in the DILR push, and this of course will happen only in sequence to this happening. is when you can come to a point where you can say that I can finish off a set in 8 to 10 minutes. In which case, you'll solve 5 to 6 sets, maybe around 6 to 7 sets in the exam in a 1 hour paper, and you will end up getting 24 to 26 attempts. And if most of them are correct, you will get your 100 percentile. So the 100 percentile is the people who get there. Even CAT 20 is supposed to be DILR, supposed to be have been very tough. People ended up solving the top guys solved. There were 20, 10, 20, 15, 15, 20 people in the country who were able to get through 20 attempts in that paper in a 40-minute period, where everybody, good people, high quality people, struggle to get 6 attempts. तो कुछ तो उन्होंने किया होगा जो जो ये मैटर करता है. और essentially होता क्या है, specifically when you start facing tough sets, why this belief point becomes important, why reaching this point of belief becomes important, is because there are two kinds of sets that you'll face in the exam. One kind of sets will be the sets in which you have to go downhill. In these sets, what happens is as you do the first few sets, first few steps, after that the question comes into your control. The question comes into your control, and your only agenda then is to speed up so that you beat the other people quickly. I mean, you are able to beat people who are competing with you. But the other kind of step questions are those that keep going uphill and keep getting tedious at times. So you start a set, you think that you're getting control of this, and suddenly midway into the set, 5 to 6 to 8 minutes into the set, suddenly you face a hurdle which you are not able to see what to do now, or you need the complete skills that you have to be able to overcome this. And this is where your belief gets tested. And the problem that happens in DILR for most people, it is not that they have not practiced, or it is not that they have not they don't have the skills required. But what happens is that when your belief gets tested at the 5, 6, 8 minute period, and there's a huge question mark on your ability, will I be able to get through the set or not inside the exam? And at that point, if you're forced to leave the set because you don't have the confidence of being able to go through, this is the perfect recipe for disaster in the exam. And this is what happens to people, to all the good people who end up with 6, 8, 10 attempts. कि quants में क्या होता है, if you miss a question, if you try a question for 2, 3 minutes and then you realize कि नहीं solve हो रहा है, so what happens is you quit the question. So what happens is 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes of your time out of 40 minutes goes away. In DILR, if you have to quit after 8 to 10 minutes without an attempt, or with a shaky attempt, or with a guessed attempt, you are very shaky in your next set. First of all, this whole time is gone. Your challenge becomes even more. What you had to do in 40 minutes, now you have to try to do in 30. And you are in shaky ground because the first set has kind of allowed you. It has thrown you off balance. And then coming back to balance is very, very difficult. The only thing that is available at this time that will bring you back to balance is your own self-belief. If you have not generated that self-belief during your preparation, you will flounder. If that self-belief is not built, you will flounder.